So-called audio deepfakes are going viral, with AI-generated voices of superstars like Drake and Rihanna, and without the artist's consent. 3D printing revolutionizes spaceflight, from 3D printed rockets to spare tools out of moon dust. And a massive leak gives detailed insights into Russian cyber warfare. These are the topics that have moved the tech world. Rapper Drake singing in Hindi. Reggaeton superstar Bad Bunny covering a Rosalia song. And Rihanna replacing Beyoncé on her hit single Cuff It. Sounds too good to be true? Well, these hits exist and went viral. But the artist didn't really sing. It was an artificial intelligence. AI models can easily clone voices nowadays. How does it work? What are the problems, and could you be producing the next viral hit? First of all, many artists aren't happy about their voices being digitally cloned by an AI. A popular example: the AI track Hard on My Sleeve features the cloned voices of rapper Drake and singer The Weeknd. It was published by incognito producer Ghost Rider and initially made available on streaming platforms like Spotify and on social media. The song went viral quickly. Then Universal Music Group, the label representing both artists, invoked copyright violations. The platforms had to take the track down. Universal's statement emphasizes how AI-generated tracks could impact artists' livelihoods. Generative AI using our artists' music begs the question as to which side of history all stakeholders in the music ecosystem want to be on. The side of artists, fans and human creative expression, or on the side of deepfakes, fraud and denying artists their due compensation. Canadian musician Grimes wants to use AI to her advantage. The ex-partner of tech billionaire Elon Musk recently tweeted, "I'll split 50% royalties on any successful AI-generated song that uses my voice. Same deal as I would with any artist I collab with. Feel free to use my voice without penalty." Grimes is a musician who has been embracing modern technology in her art for quite some time. What do you think? Can AI voice cloning be a new source for income for singers, or is it only a threat? And anyway, how are these AI audio clones created? Actually, it is quite easy. A deepfake of a voice can be created within minutes. Find an online tool, feed it with voice samples, and once the software has enough training data, upload a voice recording of the text you wish to have translated into the other person's voice. We've taken Grimes up on her offer. We took a random beat, made up a little melody, and asked ChatGPT to write us an uplifting pop verse.
Every day I wake up.
Then we've uploaded it to a website that's offering Grimes' voice as a preset.
Every day I wake up.
Using a video editing software, we mixed the voice samples with the beat. Here's the result.
Every day I wake up and I'm grateful for this place. The sky's so blue and the sun's so bright, it puts a smile on my face.
Okay, there's a lot of room for improvement here, and it's highly unlikely we'll make any money with this track. But can this be a model for the future? If so, you could create the next #1 hit. There are even websites that can do the mixing for you, but it's highly debatable if these websites are legal. In the meantime, Grimes invented a business model herself. She released an app for creators to use her voice print. The app even allows you to directly upload your Grimes AI song for distribution to streaming platforms, but that'll cost you about $10 a year. Audio deepfakes and copyright issues. So far, it is absolutely unclear how AI music is to be dealt with when it comes to ownership and copyright. An AI writes a song. Who owns the copyright? The company that developed the AI, or the person that typed in the prompts and made the AI come up with a piece? Apart from that, what about compensation for artists whose voices might have been used? AI music also has ethical implications. Just imagine a voice being used for lyrics that are the opposite of what an artist stands for. Eminem rapping about cats, a deepfake that went viral a couple of weeks ago, might look like an innocent joke. But in case someone produced a track with him spouting political propaganda, this could severely damage his career. I wonder how Grimes would handle a situation like that. Another big question is aesthetics. Some musicians have already raised concerns about AI completely erasing the concept of artistic quality. One danger is the lowering of artistic standards to a point where fake becomes real and mediocrity rules, said US musician Dan Navarro. To avoid that, US artists and music industry representatives have created the Human Artistry campaign. Their goal is to use artificial intelligence in a responsible way to support human creativity and accomplishment with respect to the inimitable value of human artistry and expression. What do you think? Is AI a threat to music as we know it, or could us users and artists benefit from it? Let us know. This is the first 3D printed rocket that was sent into space. Even though it didn't quite make it into orbit, it was an important step in the future of spaceflight, where 3D printing will play a vital role. What's better about a 3D printed rocket, and what else is there on the horizon for 3D printing? 3D printed rocket parts are already fairly common, but the Terran 1 from US company Relativity has now staked its claim as the first 3D printed rocket. And it's close enough. Almost 85% was 3D printed, including its 9 engines. In late March, the Terran 1 made its first successful launch, soaring into the upper atmosphere. A problem with one of the engines stopped it from going into orbit, but still, the launch showed the potential of 3D printing in astronautics. Why 3D printing? 3D printing, also called additive manufacturing, has several advantages when it comes to space travel. The parts are lighter, cheaper and more efficient to produce because of the unique shapes that are possible with additive manufacturing. It's also easier to mass produce, and it works with a wide variety of materials, even rocks and sand found on other planets. You could print something right there on Mars without having to transport all the materials. How could 3D printing be used? That is something researchers are already using to their advantage. The Dutch University of Delft is working on 3D printing robots that will be able to build underground habitats for a potential colonization of the Red Planet. The project has received funding from the European Space Agency ESA. In 2021, NASA sent a 3D printer to the International Space Station ISS to print from moon dust. The astronauts have been experimenting with the technology. In the future, it could be used to print tools or any spare parts they need. The biggest potential, though, may lie in bioprinting. ESA is investigating the use of 3D bioprinting to support medical treatment of long-duration space expeditions and planetary settlements. Future space travelers may be isolated for months or years and will need a range of medical support. And it could also be used for food. Several projects are working on 3D printed meals that are nutritious but also enjoyable and durable enough for such long missions. What do you think? Will 3D printing help us break the final frontier? And what other uses do you see for 3D printers in space? On February the 24th, 2022, Russian hackers allegedly attacked the satellite company Viasat. Customers all over Europe were hit with an immediate loss of communication, among them the Ukrainian military. An hour later, Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine began. This was one of the first examples of how cyber attacks can aid military forces on the ground. The Kremlin has always denied being responsible for cyber attacks like these. But leaked files give a never-before-seen insight into Russia's cyber warfare tactics. A team of more than 50 journalists analyzed, translated and verified the files for months. 11 news organizations were involved. Among them, German media outlets Der Spiegel and Süddeutsche Zeitung, the French newspaper Le Monde, the British Guardian and the Washington Post in the United States. The so-called Vulcan files contain thousands of pages of emails, internal documents, projects and contracts from the private Russian IT firm NTC Vulcan. It may look like a normal cybersecurity company, however, the files show a close connection of NTC Vulcan to the Russian military and intelligence agencies. Since 2011, Vulcan has received special government licenses to work on classified military projects. tools developed by the company for the Russian military can be used to support hacking operations, spread disinformation, and even control sections of the internet. Let's look at two examples. ScanV, a tool for digital reconnaissance. Hackers look for weak spots, aiming for potentially vulnerable servers or network devices so that they can penetrate computer systems successfully. ScanV makes this happen. The system scans the internet for vulnerabilities which are then stored for use in future cyber attacks. The leaked documents link this tool to the infamous team Sandworm. Also known as Unit 74455, Sandworm is a hacker group working for Russia's military intelligence agency, GRU. Experts say it is highly likely that Sandworm is using tools like ScanV to identify potential targets. Amazit. Amazit is a blueprint for controlling the internet in regions under Russia's command. It enables the military to take control of the internet and thereby remove any traffic that they could deem as politically harmful and obstructive. Amazit can manage, collect and modify information in a specific geographical area. To achieve this, they need physical access to hardware, for example, mobile phone towers. Once a network is infiltrated, traffic can be intercepted. Why are the Vulcan files so important? The military complex of Russia is as big as it is obscure. Internal details very rarely reach the outside world. The Vulcan files have changed that. They are the first massive leak from this well-kept secret. Usually, cybersecurity experts only find traces of cyber attacks. Through the traces, the attack can be reconstructed. But now, there is a rare insight into the planning and organization of hacks like these. It cannot be confirmed that tools developed by NTC Vulcan have been used in Russian cyber attacks, but the leaks do show the massive architecture and effort behind Russian cyber warfare machinery. We can assume that other countries are investing in cyber warfare as well. Leaks like the Vulcan files can help understand the tactics behind such debilitating attacks. This makes it easier to take protective measures against them. That's it for today. Bye and see you next time.